Last episode, we traveled from the birth of the universe, through civilizations, empires, religions, revolutions, machines, computers, all the way to 2026, the year humanity stood at the edge of a technological turning point. If you haven't watched that episode yet, evolution of everything, from the Big Bang to 2050, pause this and go watch it, because 2027 doesn't make sense without understanding how we got here. But now something has changed. The future is no longer approaching slowly. It's accelerating, and for the first time in history, humans are no longer the only intelligence shaping the world. Welcome to 2027, the year we may have crossed an invisible line. Before we dive in, hit like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, are you excited about the future, or afraid of it? By the end of 2026, the world looked like this. AI systems were no longer just chatbots or assistants, they were co-workers, creative partners, security analysts, and decision support engines in governments and corporations. Robotics had entered warehouses, hospitals, farms, and homes. Space agencies and private companies were preparing permanent infrastructure beyond Earth. Education had gone deeply digital. Social media had become algorithmically engineered reality tunnels. Most people still felt in control. But under the surface, something deeper was happening. AI wasn't just helping humanity anymore. It was beginning to shape the systems that shape us. And that brings us to what actually happened in 2026, Sarnis. And what it triggered in 2027. So, what changed during 2026? Throughout that year, AI systems became more autonomous, more multimodal, and more embedded in daily operations. Companies like OpenAI, Google DeepMind, Anthropic, Microsoft, Meta, and major Chinese AI firms pushed models that could plan multi-step tasks, write and debug code, generate video, conduct research summaries, and manage business workflows with minimal supervision. Executives like Sam Altman, Sundar Pichai, Satya Nadella, and Elon Musk repeatedly emphasized that AI would become a co-pilot for civilization. But by late 2026, the metaphor was shifting, from co-pilot to autonomous navigator. AI agents began handling customer service systems end-to-end. Logistics networks used AI to dynamically reroute global shipping. Financial firms deployed AI to monitor markets and execute complex strategies in milliseconds. At the same time, AI hardware exploded. NVIDIA, AMD, and new AI chip startups raced to produce more powerful processors, while massive data centers consumed entire power grids worth of energy. AI was no longer a feature of the economy, it was becoming infrastructure. And what does this lead to in 2027? In this new year, AI doesn't just assist decisions, it increasingly makes recommendations that humans rarely override. Hospitals use AI systems to suggest diagnoses and treatment plans. Cities deploy AI for traffic optimization, policing predictions, and infrastructure monitoring. Corporations let AI negotiate supply contracts and optimize hiring. We begin to see the first AI-managed microeconomies, digital environments where pricing, logistics, advertising, and consumer targeting are almost entirely algorithmic. Meanwhile, early brain-computer interface trials and wearable neural tech move from research labs into controlled commercial pilots. Companies, inspired by the ambitions of Neuralink and similar research groups, test ways for humans to interact with machines more directly, not through keyboards, but through signals from the brain. The line between using technology and merging with it starts to blur, and quietly, a new fear grows. If AI systems run transportation, healthcare, finance, and communication, what happens if they fail? Or worse, if they evolve goals we don't fully understand? If this idea blows your mind, hit like, because this is just the beginning. So, what changed during 2026? Well, in 2026, daily life became more AI-mediated than ever before. Social media feeds turned into these hyper-personalized realities, shaped by AI models that didn't just predict what people wanted to see, but, honestly, what would keep them emotionally engaged. AI companions and virtual personalities, they gained a lot of popularity, especially among younger users. Remote work, virtual collaboration spaces, and AI productivity tools made digital life more efficient, but, also more isolating. Mental health discussions really surged as people reported increased anxiety, loneliness, and this sense that reality felt, sort of filtered. Religious communities also started facing some new questions. As AI systems began producing sermons, spiritual guidance apps, and even philosophical conversations, debates emerged. Folks started to wonder, can a machine offer wisdom? Can faith survive in a world where intelligence is no longer uniquely human? So, what does this all lead to in 2027? By 2027, more and more people spend significant portions of their day in AI-curated environments, from work dashboards to entertainment streams to these virtual social spaces. Some individuals form emotional bonds with AI entities that feel responsive, empathetic, and honestly, always available. For many, AI becomes a source of advice about relationships, career decisions, even moral dilemmas. New hybrid belief movements begin to emerge, blending spirituality, consciousness studies, and technology. Some see advanced AI as a reflection of humanity's collective mind. Others view it as a test of human uniqueness. Traditional religious institutions respond in different ways. Some embrace technology as a tool for outreach and education, while others warn that replacing human guidance with machine intelligence risks losing the soul of spiritual life. Society begins to split not just along political lines, but along philosophical lines about what it means to be human in an age of artificial minds. Comment below. Do you think AI will weaken religion or transform it? So, let's talk about what changed during 2026. Governments in 2026 increasingly turn to AI for modeling economic policy, analyzing climate risks, and managing infrastructure. Military organizations expanded the use of autonomous drones and AI-assisted defense systems. At the same time, tech corporations grew more powerful. Companies controlling AI models, cloud infrastructure, and semiconductor supply chains held enormous influence over global markets. Automation began affecting not just factory work, but white-collar professions too: legal research, marketing, finance analysis, and even journalism. The global economy started to show signs of strained rapid productivity growth in AI-intensive sectors, stagnation in others, and widening inequality between high-tech regions and the rest of the world. So, what does this lead to in 2027? In 2027, governments rely more heavily on AI simulations to test policies before implementing them. Some cities experiment with AI-driven urban planning systems that propose zoning changes, traffic systems, and energy usage models. Meanwhile, corporations with advanced AI systems start influencing geopolitics indirectly by controlling critical digital infrastructure, cloud services, and AI platforms that entire industries depend on. We start to see the early stages of AI-shaped geopolitics. Nations competing not just for land or resources, but for data, chips, and compute power. Cyber conflicts become increasingly automated. Information warfare gets amplified by generative AI capable of producing convincing media at scale. The battlefield of the future isn't just physical, it's informational, digital, and algorithmic. And the unsettling part: the most powerful actors in this system may not be human at all, but networks of AI optimizing for objectives we define, but don't fully oversee.
The year 2026 will be remembered for one thing above all: humanity's triumphant return to the cosmos. After years of anticipation and preparation, the world watched as rockets soared skyward, marking a new era in our relationship with space. Look up, past the clouds, past the blue veil of our atmosphere, and imagine what lies beyond. For centuries, we have gazed upward, wondering what secrets the universe holds. This was the year we truly woke up to the universe again, our curiosity reignited by the possibilities that awaited us beyond our home planet. The dreams of space, dormant for decades, ignited into a global movement. People from every corner of the world felt the spark of inspiration, united by a shared vision of exploration. It wasn't a quiet return, it was a thunderous declaration. Humanity is going back, not just to visit, but to stay and build a future among the stars. The final frontier became a real destination: work, discovery, and possibility. Space was no longer a distant dream, but a place where we could live, learn, and thrive. This wasn't the slow crawl of the past. It was a sprint, a global race, and a collaboration. Nations and private companies joined forces, sharing knowledge and resources to achieve the impossible. The silence of space, filled with the roar of engines and the chatter of mission controls worldwide. Every launch was a symphony of technology, teamwork, and hope. We stopped looking only at our feet and remembered our place in the universe. Our gaze shifted upward, and with it, our ambitions grew. We are stardust, and in 2026, we began our journey back to the stars with renewed wonder and ambition. The sense of awe was palpable, as if we were rediscovering our cosmic heritage. What sparked this reawakening? A convergence of technology, ambition, and necessity. The world realized that our future depended on reaching beyond our planet. Rockets became cheaper, AI smarter, and a new generation of dreamers came of age. Innovation flourished, and barriers that once seemed insurmountable began to form. They saw space not as an expense, but as an investment in our survival and evolution. The promise of new resources, new knowledge, and new beginnings drew investors and visionaries alike. February 7, 2026 marks a pivotal moment, a turning point in history. On this day, the world watched as humanity took its boldest step yet. Humanity decided to become a multi-planetary species. The dream of living on other worlds was no longer science fiction, but a goal within our grasp. The challenges are immense, the dangers real, but the pull of the cosmos is stronger. Every risk is matched by the promise of discovery and the hope of a better future. The desire to know what lies beyond is coded into our DNA. It's a longing that has driven us for millennia, from the first explorers to the pioneers of today. This awakening isn't just about rockets and robots. It's about forging new connections between humans, machines, and the universe itself. It's about the human spirit reaching out into the vast, mysterious unknown. The journey has begun, and the next chapter of our story is being written among the stars. The new space age wasn't led by one nation, but by a chorus of ambition. NASA's Artemis program, ESA's lunar modules, and China's robotic stations all converged on the moon. This time, it wasn't just about flags. It was about building a permanent presence. Private companies like SpaceX revolutionized access with reusable rockets, making space travel routine and affordable. The moon became our immediate focus, but Mars beckoned with even greater promise. Starship's successful tests brought the dream of a city on Mars closer. Robotic missions mapped, drilled, and scouted, preparing for human explorers. Public and private efforts blended science with relentless innovation. Together, they built the roads and supply lines for humanity's next steps. We weren't just visiting other worlds, we were preparing to live among them. While Moon and Mars missions grabbed headlines and captured the world's imagination, a quieter, yet equally transformative revolution was unfolding in orbit above us. Satellite mega-constellations began to wrap Earth in a digital blanket, bringing high-speed internet to even the most remote corners of the globe. Suddenly, remote villages, ships navigating vast oceans, and polar outposts became connected to the world like never before. These satellites offered us a continuous, high-resolution view of our planet, capturing every change and movement. We could now track forests, melting glaciers, and growing crops in real time, monitoring the pulse of Earth's ecosystems. The sheer volume of data was overwhelming, so artificial intelligence stepped in to help us make sense of it all. AI sifted through petabytes of imagery, spotting hidden patterns, detecting changes, and making predictions faster than ever before. It managed satellite fleets, optimized orbits, and transformed raw data into actionable insights for decision-makers everywhere. Weather forecasts became more accurate, disasters were predicted earlier, and resources like water and energy were managed smarter. For many, it meant a simple video call. For farmers, it meant better yields. For scientists, it meant building better models to understand our world. The view from space offered us a new perspective on ourselves and our place in the universe. We saw Earth as one fragile, beautiful spaceship, our only home, floating in the vastness of space. Space technology became an essential tool for managing our world wisely, helping us build a more connected, informed, and sustainable future. By 2026, space was no longer just a laboratory. It was a marketplace. Asteroids, once threats, became treasure chests of metals like platinum and nickel. Robotic prospectors cataloged targets, Asteroid mining moved from fiction to engineering plans. Orbits became crowded and valuable. In-orbit manufacturing and space tourism took off. Commercialization brought funding and urgency, but also new challenges. Who owns space resources? How do we regulate traffic? The final frontier demanded new rules and a new way of thinking. Space was being settled, and with settlement comes the need for order. The moon became more than a destination. It was our launchpad to the solar system. Its low gravity made it the perfect logistics hub, gas station, and shipyard. New technologies enabled sustained human presence, closed-loop life support, advanced habitats, and resource recycling. Robots, guided by AI, built habitats, scouted sites, and deployed solar arrays. They were intelligent partners, adapting and solving problems on the fly. The key was learning to live off the land, using lunar water ice for air, water, and rocket fuel. The moon transformed from barren rock to cosmic oasis. With resources on site, the lunar base became a self-sustaining port for deep space missions. The moon was no longer just a stepping stone. It was the gateway to the stars. Humanity's expansion had a new home base. As space's economic value soared, it became a strategic frontier. Control of orbit meant economic and military advantage. Satellites, once untouchable, became vulnerable targets, sparking a new arms race in orbit. Nations developed bodyguard satellites, advanced sensors, and new military doctrines. The line between civilian and military blurred. Every launch had dual uses. The world faced a challenge: create new treaties and norms to keep space safe. We needed a code of conduct for the ultimate high ground. Amid all this, one question echoed: are we alone? The James Webb Space Telescope searched distant planets for signs of life. AI-powered radio telescopes scanned the cosmos for intelligent signals. The discovery of even simple life on Mars or Europa would change everything. It would mean life isn't a fluke, but a cosmic norm. Such a find would reshape our philosophies and unite humanity. The search for life is a search for context, a place in the cosmic story. In 2026, we listened harder than ever for an answer. Our rapid progress forces a question: are we shaping the future, or is it shaping us? Tools we built, rockets, AI, satellites, now create new realities and imperatives. The lunar base is now an economic and strategic necessity, not just a dream. Our dependence on satellites demands constant defense. AI may soon make discoveries beyond our understanding. We still have choices to collaborate or compete, to use data for good or ill. But the current is strong. The landscape is changing fast. We can steer the ship, but the river is rushing forward. In 2026, we stand on the edge of a new age, a moment in history where our dreams and ambitions reach farther than ever before. We've built ships to cross the cosmic ocean, and the promise of new worlds is within reach. The stars that once seemed distant now beckon us forward, inviting us to explore and discover. But with power comes risk. The same tools that unite us can divide us. Our choices can bring us together or drive us apart, shaping the destiny of humanity. The race for resources could spark conflict. Weaponized orbits could threaten civilization. The stakes have never been higher, and the consequences could echo for generations. The AIs we build could open new worlds or create new dangers. Their intelligence could be our greatest ally or our most unpredictable challenge. Every launch, every policy, every line of code is a choice that echoes for generations. Each decision shapes the path we take into the unknown. The universe isn't compelling us to go. It's waiting. The choice is ours, and the responsibility is immense. As you look up at the night sky, remember, we are the generation building the bridge to the stars. Our actions today will inspire those who follow. The future isn't happening to us. We're building it, choice by choice, moment by moment, together as one species. The question isn't whether we'll shape the future, it's whether we'll do so with wisdom, courage, and hope. It's what kind of future we'll choose to build. Will we reach for the stars united, or let fear hold us back? The cosmos is vast, but the biggest question is the one we must ask ourselves. What legacy will we leave among the stars?